Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Nut Tree Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me. In tonight's episode, I wanted to talk quickly about the plan. If you can't leave right now, it's probably a good idea to have some kind of plan in the back of your mind. Know that it probably won't go the way you imagined. Also know that you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to deal with cognitive dissonance. So you can have days when you're going to think, I can't stand this man. I'm counting the days down. I don't want to ever see him again. And then you have other days where you're going to think, oh my God, that's right. We're so in love. We're so happy. He's everything to me. And you will fluctuate between the two. But the reality is, the longer you stay, the more likely, more often, you're going to be saying to yourself, I can't stand this man. I can't do this anymore. So while you're in that state, there's a number of things to consider. This is the top 10. What I think you need to do if you have to stay is, number one, you need to prioritize your own health. Okay, so your physical and mental health. It is really important to realize that you're putting yourself under a huge amount of physical stress when you are staying in an environment that causes so much stress, because the body is not designed to live with constant stress. A little bit of stress is one thing, it's fight or flight, that's great, but everyday chronic stress is not healthy, and it actually can make you physically sick and mentally unwell. So narcissists have everything running about them. It's always about them. You spend your whole life chasing your own tail, trying to fix everything, make it all good for them, and you forget about your own health. You literally don't have your annual checkups. You don't go to the dentist. You don't do any of those things, because you're just trying to get through life. But the reality is that stuff catches up. Okay, so number one, prioritize your own health. Get your checkups when you need to. Go to the doctors when you need. Get help if you need it. Number two, protect your assets. So anything you came into the relationship with, from cars, property, investments, anything that you have that is yours, put it in your name. Keep it in your name. Okay? They will try and pressure you to give it up to them. They will try and coerce you to give it up to them. Do not, because when push comes to shove, which it will, it's just a matter of when, these are the things that you're going to need to survive. So keep that stuff in your name. Keep, your legal stuff under control, taken care of. And the thing is, narcs are so caught up in themselves and their dramas and their chaos and, their new supply and their cheating and all that, exciting stuff, that they more often than not neglect the business side, neglect the finances. And if you leave it up to them, you'll be broke as. Okay? You'll be on the bones of your ass. You'll have nothing. So look after what is yours. Protect it from them, and just protect it in general. Look after your possessions. Okay, number three, if you have to stay with a narcissist, stay focused on your own career. Okay, so don't give up your job, or don't let him, convince you to stop going to school or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, because at some point in your future, you are going to be a single woman again, or a single woman with kids again. Okay, so you're going to be starting from scratch. If you have a career, it's going to be a lot easier to pick up and keep on moving. Okay, whereas if you have to start from scratch because, you spent 10 years raising his children or whatever, that makes it just that little bit harder. So keep your career at all costs. Okay, number four, if you don't have children, avoid having children with a narcissist. If you want to have children in the future, that's great. Do it with someone who will be a good parent. Do it with someone that you can build a life with. narcissists are not good partners and they're not good parents. And all they will do is use that child against you. They will use that child as a pawn. They will use that child as a weapon. So, for example, they will say, when things are getting ugly, you can go. Yeah, you can go, but you're not taking that kid. That kid's not going anywhere. Go on, off you go. Off you go. All right. Do you know how many mothers have been put through that agonizing dilemma? Do not allow anyone to put you in that situation. If you don't have children with a narcissist, practice birth control. Do it behind their back if they're trying to get you pregnant. They usually do try and get you pregnant. So, just take control of your reproduction. Don't leave it up to chance, because they're not leaving it up to chance. And as I said, those children will be used against you. And there's nothing worse. All right, number 5. Spend time with your friends and your family. The narc will automatically and instinctively try and isolate you from friends, family, from anyone that can help you, and from anyone who will help you keep perspective. Okay? They want you isolated. They want you easy to manipulate and easy to control. And the key way to do that is to pull you away from all of your friends and your family. So keep those links with friends and family. Not only are they really important for keeping you sane and safe, but you're going to need your friends and family when push comes to shove and it all comes, crumbling down. And it will. All right, number 6. Get yourself some counselling or find a support group. It's really important that you can talk to just one person, and tell the truth to just one person about what's going on in your world, in your home, in your heart, in your head. Keeping all of his secrets, it becomes really headfucky. It damages you. You find yourself editing. You find yourself self-isolating because you don't want to have to tell people. You don't want to tell people what's going on. So you just think, oh, it's better if I just don't see anyone, and then I don't have to edit myself or remember what stories I'm saying. And unfortunately, that is, a really disempowering position to be in. You don't want to be isolated and alone. You need to have at least one person, and even if it is just a counsellor, just one person that you can tell the truth to and get help from if you need. That's the other thing. I mean, that's what, support groups and counsellors are actually there for. All right, number 7, protect your sexual health. This is a really important one, and it's a really tricky one to navigate because, anyone who knows about narcissists knows that narc sexuality is very fluid, as in they're not really gay, they're not really straight, they will go with whoever offers them what they want. And if they want, sex in the public toilet at 6 o'clock in the morning on the way to work, well, there's someone who'll give it to them. And the thing is, they bring home diseases, and that is the truth, because they don't plan necessarily to go and do these things. They do them, and because narcs don't care about the future, they don't care about their own health, they certainly don't care about your health. And as I said, it becomes a little bit tricky, having to say to your husband of X amount of years, why you want to use condoms. But I think if you know that you're with a narcissist, you need to accept the fact that they are not faithful, and they are not using contraception, they are not protecting themselves. And we live in a time and an age where, we have HIV, we have diseases that can literally end your life. It's just not worth the risk. So make up some bullshit story. I don't know, your contraception's failing. Doctors have told you that you have to use the condoms because you can't use the pill anymore. Get creative, but protect your own health. If you're going to have sex with them before you leave, know that they're having sex with other people. They're having unprotected sex. And as I said, it could be quite literally with men as well as women. So it doesn't matter how, how much of a macho kind of bloke you've got, how much he says, he hates the fags and the homos. None of that means a thing. None of that means a thing. All right, darlings. Number 8, create your own emergency escape fund. So basically with X amount of money. So start just putting little bits of money aside. Put it somewhere where he's not going to find out. And that money is literally in the situation where you need to just disappear. Because, we never know how it's all going to play out. And sometimes, you do just need to go. You need to be able to leave just like that. And if you don't even have, money to get a taxi, I mean, how far do you think you're going to get before you have to come back? So put some money aside, keep it somewhere safe, somewhere hidden, where you can access it 24/7. All right, number 9, get all your paperwork together in case you do have to flee. So this is another important thing. Collect all that stuff up. Maybe you're good with your filing, maybe you've got it in one box anyhow, or maybe it's all throughout the house. Get all the paperwork that you would need if you needed to start a new life elsewhere. Okay, get that stuff together. So if you do have to flee, you've got money, you've got your documents. You can literally just, with the clothes that you've got on your back, grab your paperwork and be gone and start a new life. And as I said, sometimes push comes to shove, and that's what you have to do. But it certainly, beats the alternative of either A, being stuck for more years, more abuse, or worse, or worse. All right, and have an escape plan. So quite literally what this means is, figure out if tonight it all turned to shit and he went and got violent, where would you go? Who would you call? What would you do? So figure this stuff out in your head. Think it through and have a plan, at least in your mind. If you can't write it down safely, that's fine, but at least just have it in your mind. Where you're going to go, who you're going to call, what you're going to do. Because it makes it so much easier to do it if you've already thought through the steps than if you're trying to figure it out. You're all emotional, you're all upset, and you're trying to figure out, what am I doing? Where do I go? What do I do? I don't even know what to do. It's so much easier for anything if you've already thought this stuff through. And believe me, once you've been married to a narcissist for 10, 15 years, you've thought about leaving that many times. You've probably got a really good emergency plan, strategy in place, ready to go. And it just becomes, when are you going to do it? How many more years do you want to waste pretending to yourself that, things are going to get better? They're not going to get better. In fact, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. All right, my darlings, they are my top 10, plans for if you have to stay, for making it better in the interim while you're figuring out how to get yourself narc free. All right, lovelies, thank you for joining me. Have a good night. Bye.